I'm Ashley, and today I want to share with you my annual 2019 budget. I got this idea for the annual budget and this beautiful layout from watching a Budgeting Wife video. She did her 2019 annual budget, and her setup was pretty identical to this, so I kind of just made my own version of it. So let's get through it, all right? So I have my months listed out here, January through December. This column right here is the total amounts that I am putting money towards each line item. Um, so for example, rent over the course of all those months will be $9,900 total. So that's what this column is for. And then in bold, at the end of each category, I have the total amount for that category. And this last column here is the percentage of my income that each category is taking up. So looking at my first category here, that's my income category, this nice light yellow. I have my school income I earned from being a teacher. That's my base salary. And this salary is $1,407 times 2. So every paycheck is $1,407 for me take home, after taxes, after insurance and medical benefits and 401k contributions, all those things. After everything, it's $1,470 every 2 paychecks. I get paid every other week, so most months it's 2 paychecks, so that's why I do $1,407 times 2. Some months, or specifically 2 months out of the year, I'll get 3 paychecks. So in May, I'll get $1,407 times 3, or $4,221, and then again, that happens in October. So with 1 year of income for my base job, my base salary, I expect to take home $36,582 from my job. After school income is income I earn from working at my school's after school program. It's from like 3 to 5:30 every day, but I only work Tuesdays through Fridays. So 4 days a week, give or take some vacation days from school or like random days off we have. This is money I anticipate earning from that position. I have like a whole little table that I made for how many days I'll work and how many hours I work each day, multiplied by how much I earn per hour, subtracting like how much gets taken out through taxes and stuff like that. So this is what I anticipate earning throughout the months up until June. I'm not sure if the after school will be happening in September through December, or I'm not sure if I will be selected to work in the after school in those months, so I obviously just leave that blank. This line, so for my after school income, I expect to earn $3,120 specifically from working in the after school program. This line here is for any miscellaneous income. I put like rewards, so for my credit cards, if I get cash back rewards, I may transfer that into my checking account as like income, or like a rollover money from a previous month, or really anything, like hopefully maybe in March I can put down here my tax return income, things like that. I don't anticipate any of those things. I'm not planning for much, so I really just have what I know I got in rewards, or like a rollover money in January, which was about $75. So if you total all of those sources of income for the entire year of 2019, I should take home $39,777, which of course is 100% of my income. The next category here are my bills. These are subscriptions, rent, utilities, things like that. So my rent currently is $900 a month. I share a 2-bedroom apartment with my roommate in Brooklyn, New York, and we split it evenly, so we both pay $900. So I anticipate obviously paying that every single month, except in November 30th, our lease is up in our current apartment, and we don't plan to stay here. This will be our second year here, but we do plan to find a new apartment. So for this month, our management company or whatever, they should be using our deposit for our rent, because we put 3 times rent down. We put first month's a deposit, and then we've had to pay a broker's fee. So that deposit should be put towards our last month, because we're leaving this apartment in great shape. That shouldn't be a problem. So I anticipate paying $0 that month. But in December, in the new apartment, where we are hoping, our goal is to not spend more than we're currently spending. In fact, we want to get it down to like $850, because we're planning to get a third roommate to get a 3-bedroom. And generally, when you get like a 3-bedroom in some parts of Brooklyn, um, the average will be closer to like 800 or 850. So that's the goal, but definitely not more than 900. So all in all, over the course of the year, we'll be paying $9,900 towards rent. Internet, that should be the same every single month, $55.88, all the way through until we move. Even I anticipate if we're moving to like a similar neighborhood in Brooklyn, I'm assuming the internet will be the same. So $670 over the course of the year. Electricity, besides this ridiculous bill in January, because Con Ed was like estimating our electricity amount, our usage for like 8 months in 2018. They estimated it from May through December, and then at the end of December they installed a smart meter, and they finally came out to read our actual meter, and we had owed them $800, so we split that, my roommate and I. But with the smart meter, now it'll be more consistent, so it's looking to be about $55 a month. At least our February bill was like $58, so I'm assuming it'll be around $55 throughout the year. If it's less, that's fine. It should not be more because now we're just way more aware of it. So all in all, we should have paid $1,000 toward electricity this year. Gym, it's $15.62 a month. In January, I had to pay my $50 membership fee for the year. So I'm going to keep that for the year. I already paid that $50, so now I really got to go to the gym. But when I move out, I'm definitely just going to cancel it. I don't know where I'm going to move to at this point, but I don't think they'll have the same gym near me. And even if they did, I would take like a month or two off just to get myself situated in a new area. So hopefully, like in the beginning of January, I can get one of those awesome like New Year, New Me deals that all the gyms seem to have, like 1 month, like $1 for the month or something like that. So in December, I'll cancel my current gym membership, but I'll have paid $220 towards that. Amazon right now it's at $7. I think I have a student account, so hopefully that does not change throughout the year. But it's $7 a month, so about $84 by the end of the year. My Spotify, I'm so sad. My Spotify, I currently pay $5 a month for the Spotify Premium, and I get Hulu like with the ads included in that for that $5 because I have a student account. However, since it's been like a year since I got this student account, and I'm finished grad school at this point, I'm not considered a student anymore. So they told me that in March I'll have to start paying like a new, like the regular fee. So it's $10 for the Spotify Premium, but then it's $13 if you want the Hulu. And since I've had Hulu for so long now, and all my favorite shows are on it, and we don't have cable, so I'm just gonna bear the extra $3 it costs because I can't go back to Spotify with ads. That's just a non-negotiable. That's not gonna happen. But I consider not having the Hulu, but I don't know. I want the Hulu, and I want for so little. So I'm going to give myself the Hulu. That's $13 a month starting in March. So with all of that, it'll be about $140 I'm spending on Spotify/Hulu. My Netflix is $6.50. I share a 2-screen membership with my roommate, so we both pay $6.50, and that'll be the same throughout the year for a total of $78. And my cell phone is $40. I don't anticipate changing that, so that's $4.80. So down here, I total how much I'm spending each month in bills. Yeah, and even on those 3 paychecks a month time. So in May, it's still the same I'm putting towards bills because I budget for 2 paychecks typically. And then same in October, I'm still paying about $1,090 towards bills, even if I have that extra paycheck. So now I get to like play around with where that quote unquote extra money goes. But anyway, for my bills, I'm paying $12,582 in the year, meaning that's about 31.63% of my take-home income, which I'm very happy with because that includes my rent and utilities plus all my subscriptions. Perfectly happy with that. For my spending categories, this includes groceries, eating out, and my household budget, also like a miscellaneous, like if there's a few cents or a few dollars left in my budget, I'll just put that towards miscellaneous for the month because, I don't know, I don't really plan to have miscellaneous purchases. I don't think really anyone does, but I'll put whatever is left over there. So I typically do my spending categories on a weekly basis because it's easier for me to think about it that way. I have like one day a week that I dedicate to like going out and doing my shopping. So weekly basis works for me. Since I get a paycheck every 2 weeks, in my mind, okay, a paycheck is 2 weeks worth of groceries. A paycheck is 2 weeks worth of eating out, meaning that with $65 a week for groceries, for example, each paycheck, that's $130. If I make 2 paychecks in January, that's 130 times 2, or $260 in January that I'm budgeting for groceries. Same thing with eating out. I budget $10 a week, or in January with 2 paychecks, that's $20 times 2, $40. Household, I budget $5 a week, or 10 times 2 for 2 paychecks in January. In May, when I get that third paycheck, I'm doing 130 times 3 for my groceries, because that third paycheck is for 2 weeks worth of work. That means I have to get 2 weeks worth of like groceries out of it as well. Um, you know, that's just what it is. So I do 130 times 3 there. Here is 20 times 3 for my eating out budget, and then 10 times 3 for my household budget. And the exact same thing happens in October. So by the end of the year, I'm paying $33.80 towards groceries, right? And I hope that makes sense, because even if I did like 65 a week times the 52 weeks in a year, that's $33.80. So the numbers work out, even if this may seem a bit confusing. All right, going back. So with all of that, I'm spending, like I said, $33.80 on groceries for the year, $520 eating out for the year, and $260 on like household, personal, miscellaneous things like deodorant and toothpaste and tissue, things like that. So with all of that, I'm putting $4,160 into the spending category. And that's a little over 10% of my income, which again, I am very happy with that number. I have no complaints. For my savings and sinking funds, this is my favorite category because it's saving money and creating little sinking funds that I get to spend later on. So my Roth IRA, that's my individual retirement account. I put $225 a paycheck there, or about $450 on a typical month. On the months with 3 paychecks, I'm doing $750. It should be like $225 times 3, which is $675. But just to get it to a total of $6,000, I do bump it up a little bit because I do have like that. That's how I'm putting my extra paycheck to use. So this is $225 times 3, which would be the typical thing. That's $675. So if I did $675 for both of those extra paycheck months, I would only have been putting $5,850 towards my Roth IRA. The limit in 2019 is $6,000, so that's why I add about $75 more in each of those months that I'm getting that third paycheck. So it's $750 here and $750 there, just to equal $6,000. So I'm maxing out my Roth IRA. My sinking funds for my family, that's like gifts for my family, or like, I don't know, if I go to my family's house for Thanksgiving and I want to put money towards the groceries for the meal, that's the money that I'll be using for that, like things like that. Or also if I'm going to buy something for them or whatever, I'm putting $15 a month toward that for the months that I get that extra paycheck. Another way I'm allocating that is putting way more into that fund, because typically it's the end of the year where I'm like spending all of this money for my family. So I'm putting $75 in May as opposed to $15, and again $75 in October again as opposed to $15. So by the end of the year, hopefully I'll have about $300 to play with in terms of like gifting things to my family or buying things for my family. And when I say family, I really just mean my parents. So like I was able to live with them rent free for, number one, all of my life, and then also when I got back from my undergrad, I spent 2 years living with them while I saved for grad school and worked my way through grad school. So like I absolutely don't have a problem with like paying a bill for them if they say they need me to, or like doing grocery shopping for them when I go to visit at the end of the year, when I visit whenever. So I just want to start putting some money aside for that now. If they need more, they need more, but like I want to budget for a certain amount. And if they happen to need more, it's going to come out of one of these other sinking funds, honestly. Probably my moving sinking fund, because when I get to it, I'll explain. I think that's a little bit too much, but anyway, that's my family sinking fund. Got a little off topic there. Travel sinking fund. I visit some family in Texas. My friends and I are planning a trip to either a different part of Texas or New Orleans. We haven't decided yet. So this is money I'm putting towards like those flights for that. like Uber prices to get to and from the airport, all those things, and money to spend while I'm there. So I'm putting $100 a month towards that, or $50 a paycheck. So when I get that 3 paycheck month, I'm just putting an additional $50 from that extra paycheck. So it's $150 that month, and again in October. So a total of $1,300, which is a pretty good number for me. I think that's more than fine for 2 planned trips, like trips where I have to fly to a different part of the country. That's perfectly fine. Clothing sinking fund. The way I did this was in January, I sat down and I wrote out a list of about 10 or 11 items that I wanted to replenish in my wardrobe. This was like a certain number of sweaters, like more underclothes, and like 2 dresses to like add to my repertoire of dresses. So I ended up spending about $125 on maybe 8 of those items. And now for the rest of the year, I'm just budgeting $20 a month, because the other 3 items were like bigger ticket items. Like I thought about getting a new winter coat. I need like some like little booties for the spring. I need probably some new boots at the end of the year, like wintry, like tall boots, maybe some sandals for the summer, things like that. So those are going to be more expensive. So I'm going to be putting $20 a month towards that, or $40 in that extra paycheck month. And again, in October, an extra $40. So by the end of the year, I will have saved or allocated $385 towards clothing, meaning that after this $125 that I already spent, there should be about $260 for perhaps a new winter coat, some new boots, and then some new booties. Those are really the only 3 things I really need, so that should be enough to cover it. And I'm still even considering not even getting a new winter coat because I love mine so much, and it has held up. This is the second or third year that I've had it, and it's great. So I don't anticipate needing a new one, but in case I do, I have some money set aside towards that. My Lyft and Uber sinking fund. I don't know. In New York City, that's just, you're bound to take Lyft and Uber most times. I don't have a car. My roommate doesn't have a car. I don't even drive. So sometimes, the groceries are too heavy. Sometimes we're too deep in Queens at 1 a.m. to want to take the train an hour and 15 minutes back into our little neighborhood in Brooklyn. So this, I'm just trying to budget for it as opposed to just spending so much on it like I did last year. So I'm budgeting about $15 a month and doubling that up in May and October when I get that extra paycheck. So by the end of the year, I'm hoping not to spend more than $209 on Lyfts and Ubers throughout the year, and it'll all come from that sinking fund. My moving sinking fund, so like I said, I'm moving in November. This money here is being allocated directly from money I'm earning through after school. So if for some reason in February I don't earn $575 in after school, I only earn $560, that means that I'm only putting $560 towards this moving sinking fund, right? So I'm really happy I got this after school gig because that's a nice way to fund something that it's not going to be a very common expense, I don't anticipate. So that's how I'm doing that. And this extra $900 here is coming from my rent payment that I would have been paying in November, but again, they should be using my deposit that we put about a year and a half ago when we first moved in. So I'm putting that extra $900 towards the moving sinking fund. Here, like I mentioned when I was talking about my family fund, I don't think I'll need $4,000. I think $3,000 would be sufficient. So, if at the end of the year some things come up with my family and they need some extra cash, I'm probably going to take it from this moving sinking fund. I don't have a problem with that. And then my last savings category, or my second to last at least, is my savings for a home. I don't think I made this apparent when I did my January budget, but that personal savings category is actually my fund for hopefully a down payment on a condo or a co-op in maybe New York City, but probably New Jersey, but in a few years. So I'm 24, I'm turning 25 this year. I don't anticipate doing anything with this line here, this savings category, until I'm 29, 30, but who knows? But I wanted to start saving towards that right now because it'll take a while. If you know anything about the prices for even condos in New York City or even New Jersey in some areas, it can get pretty high. So I want to spend maybe less than $175,000, but I want to put as much down as possible, even with that. So we'll see. I'm just saving towards it now. I'm trying to save about $800 a month. In January, I couldn't quite make that largely because of this big electricity payment, but I'm trying to get about $800 a month on a typical month. And when I get those extra paychecks in May, I'm doubling it up. And then again in October, doubling it up. So by the end of the year, hopefully I'll have $10,721 in that savings for a home. And that would be really nice to see that number by the end of the year. My emergency fund, there's a silly story with this. This line is lightly in green, or sorry, is in a lighter green. It's not calculating into this total for the savings and sinking funds because it'll kind of mess up my budget here, because this money is money I've already saved. These two specifically, money I've already saved. So this 3629, that is already in my high yield savings account. This 5280, that's actually in a Betterment like online investing website. That's an accident. I thought I was creating a Roth IRA fund. So for like 4 months at the end of last year, I was contributing towards that. So I contributed $5,280 before I realized it was not a Roth IRA. It was a general savings account. But by the time I realized that, the stock market in like mid-December was like abysmal. I had lost $800 and I was not going to take out that money because I would not be able to get that money back. Even if I had put it into a actual Roth IRA account, there's no like transferring the title of your account. I would have to take out the money from Betterment, put it into my checking account, and then create a new account and then put that money into that account. So I wasn't gonna do that. So I just left that money in there. I'm leaving it in there until it reaches a net of zero. Right now, the stocks have sort of been coming back to like what it was just before December. Right now I'm at a negative of $150. So once I see a $0 like net or gain, like I don't need money. I just want it to be exactly what I put in. So when it says 5280, I'm taking that money right out into my checking account and then I'll put it into my emergency account. So together those will be $8,909 that I have for an emergency fund. And March, when I get my refund check for the IRS, I'm going to put about $91 into that fund just to make it a clean $9,000. Just because when you put together like my actual typical spending, my bills plus my like average spending, that's about $1,400. And then if you round up, that's $1,500. So in any emergency, if I were to lose my source of income, if I were not to be able to work for some reason, I would need $1,500 a month to sustain how I'm living and where I'm living and what I'm putting money towards. Not savings. Like I really shouldn't be saving that much or contributing to my Roth IRA if I'm in an emergency situation, but just to live my typical day-to-day life, I'll need about $1,500. So when I did 1,500 times 6 months, that's $9,000. And I think for someone who have my own income, like my single income, I can't rely on anyone else to support me. If anything were to happen, 6 months is a good buffer, in my opinion. So that's the goal there. And perhaps maybe in 2020, I'll start even beefing that up even more to maybe like 9 months income or something like that. But who knows? For now, that I don't anticipate putting any more money towards the emergency fund in 2019. But when you total, like again, not including this $9,000, when you total how much I'm putting towards my savings or sinking funds or this retirement account, it is $22,935, which is over 57% of my take-home income for 2019. And that is very exciting. I think that's a good number. I'm feeling good about 2019 in terms of my savings. So if I can make all of this stuff work, this will be a great number to see in December as like actual money that was put away. And even more specifically, I really want this $10,721 to be true. Like I want to have that number. Also, of course, my Roth IRA, I want to have completely maxed out at $6,000. And this light yellow here, that's just like the couple of dollars remaining in the budget. So if I'm budgeting for $33.89 in February, there's about $8.94 that I haven't budgeted towards. And that's typically when in my like monthly budget, I'll just put that remaining as like a miscellaneous fund to just pad my checking account. I'm typically not worried about overdrawing accidentally on my checking account because 98% of all my bills and my spending happens through my credit card. So I have the PNC Rewards credit card. It's not the best reward credit card, but at this point I've had it for so long and it works well enough for me that I could be getting better rewards, but it's fine. It's whatever. Maybe next year I'll change it, but I'm gonna stick with it for now. But like internet goes through that, electricity, that I have to transfer to my roommate because she pays electricity and I just transfer her the difference. But I manually do that and I manually transfer my rent to the from the rent website. Like it doesn't come out automatically, so there's no chance of overdrawing there. Gym is credit card, Amazon credit card, Spotify credit card, Netflix credit card, cell phone credit card. I put all my groceries on the credit card. I can put all my eating out things on the credit card. Put all my household things on the credit card. So everything is going through my credit card first. So there shouldn't be any surprise deductions where I don't have enough of my checking because I'm checking my checking account before I make payments to my credit card. And I typically make payments by the end of every single week, or even every like as much as every other day. Like whenever it comes to my account, like I'm paying it off immediately and just keeping track of where that money is coming from. So that's how it's worked for me in the past. I have never had a problem with like having to pay interest on that card or anything. I've never even had like a specific statement amount due because I'm always trying to pay it off before the statement ends or like the statement period ends. So that's what's working for me. I'm getting some rewards back for that. Keeping my credit pretty clean, and I'll take it. That is that is what it is. So with all of this here, that's my 2019 budget. I really hope you guys have enjoyed watching this video. Hope maybe give you some inspiration to create your own budget, because even though some of these things may not stay the same, like I don't know what's going to happen with my electricity in August. I don't know if something will happen with my apartment in August. I don't know if something will happen with my job in August, but it's nice to get a sense of what could happen in 2019 to just sort of start planning for things and just keep perspective. You know, it may seem like it's a long time away, but I have some goals I want to meet at the end of the year. I need to move out at the end of the year. I need to hopefully put $6,000 to my retirement for my Roth IRA at the end of the year. I hopefully want to have 10 grand saved for a down payment by the end of the year. So just by laying out all these numbers, it puts into perspective what you're doing right now could have like these really positive implications for you by the end of the year. So as much as I want to spend $80 eating out in January, I know that by the end of the year, it'll really help me to keep some budgets tight and just be aware of my money in the present time. So that's why I really liked the Budgeting Wife when she did this video. It gave me some perspective, and then I wanted to share that perspective with you all. So I really hope you liked this video. Please give it a like if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you are not and you would like to continue following me in my like planning and saving journey. And for now, that is all. I really hope you guys have a great day. And yeah, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.